stretch and mobilise class. Suitable for all levels. Just be careful if you have any injuries. Pay attention to your body and obviously just skip past exercises that aren't comfortable for you. So we're going to start in our sitting position. Legs up in front of us, and we're just going to start with loosening up the lower spine. So we're going to start with your C curve. So arms up in front of you. Make sure you're right up on those sit bones, and we're going to just start to tuck the pelvis under us and then sit tall. So breathe out to tuck, breathe in to sit up tall. So it's very small. You just want to feel like you're coming up onto the sit bones and then you're rolling back onto that sacrum area and then back up again. So just forward and back, loosening it all off. And then into your half roll back. So we start in the same way. And then continue to roll back, hands roughly to knees, breathe in, breathe out, come up, sit tall. And again, we roll back, breathing in, breathing out and up. Now either continue with these or you're going to come into your full roll back. So legs flat, and we're going all the way down this time, breathing in, and breathe out, rolling up, and stretch over the legs for this one. So rolling back, breathing in, breathing out and up, and over the legs. Just doing 2 more of whichever version you've picked to do. And then we're going to, finishing our sitting position, we're going to bring the legs slightly wide and we're going to go for your waist twist. So arms out to the sides. You start with the head, twist it to one side, then chest turns with you, and then you pulse once at the end to try and get a little bit further, and then come back to the centre. And then other side, we twist, pulse, and back. Now as you're doing this, you really want to think about lengthening your spine up towards the ceiling, so think of pushing the top of your head upwards as you go. Staying sitting right up on those sit bones, so make sure you're not leaning backwards. So common thing to do is to start to lean like this. So make sure you're upright all the way through. One more each way. And then we're going to turn that into your saw. So same thing, we start to twist. Now from here, we take this back arm and we come down and up. Little finger up to the ceiling and you pulse forward twice. Sit yourself tall, arm back, and back to the centre, other side. Twist, back arm scoops down and up, pulse twice, sit tall, and back. Just keep going, twist, down and up, back to normal. So you want to think about aiming arm to opposite leg, and then we lift with that back arm and up. Last one. Bringing yourself back into the centre, and from here we're going to bring the hands behind the head. We're now going to bring the legs together, and we're going to go for a neck pull and hamstring stretch variation. So legs flat on the floor, think pushing them down, sitting up tall. You want to think of pushing your skull back into your hands, elbows wide, but you should still be able to see them in your peripheral vision. So we're going to breathe in and start to lean back slightly. Spine needs to stay straight. Now as you breathe out, we're going to come forward, and again, spine staying straight, we're leaning forward over the legs. And again, breathe in, we lean back. Breathe out, we come forward. Breathing in and back. Out and forward. So very important the spine stays straight. So make sure you're not arching. As you're coming forward, make sure you're thinking of lifting through the chest, so you shouldn't be coming into a spinal flexion position. Keep that chest up and stay straight. And just being careful if you're tight in the legs, because this is coming into a hamstring stretch. Last one like this. And then sitting tall. Arms coming back behind you. Preferably you're going to want fingers facing your body. If your wrist can't handle that, then you can turn out to the sides or facing backwards. So we're going to have the legs straight, quite close together, so pretty much in line with your hips. Make sure your arms aren't too wide. And from here, we're going to breathe in. Now, as you breathe out, think of squeezing your shoulder blades together. Lift through the chest. We're going to lift through the hips, squeeze the glutes, breathe in, breathe out and down. And again, we breathe in, breathe out, squeeze the shoulders, push through the heels, lift the hips, squeeze the glutes, breathe in, breathe out and down. And just keep going up and down, nice and slow. Think of really opening the chest to the ceiling. So think wide through the collarbone. And keep your chin tucked in, so try not to drop the head back, it's just going to be too much on the neck. So chin down, think of looking down at your body. And then down. Two more like this. Last one. And down. Okay, from here, if they aren't already, you're going to turn your fingers to face behind you. Take your hands further back. The further back with this exercise, the easier, so do take them a good way behind you. We're going to draw the knees up towards us. And then we just double check you're not dropped into the shoulders. So if your shoulders are dropped forward like this, just push through your arms, get those shoulders back, think of squeezing the shoulder blades again, just slightly. And from here, we're going to go for your seated hip rolls. So we're going to tuck the knees in slightly towards the body. We're going to hold it here. And then we're going to start to go side to side. So squeezing the legs together, we roll the hips over to one side, back to the centre, and then the other side. So same breathing as normal hip rolls, so breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out to the centre. Breathe in, breathing out. And just keep going, keep pushing through the arms, so no dropping into the shoulders. Think of lifting one bum cheek and then back down again. Lift it up and down. One more each side. Back into the centre, legs down. We're going to stretch them out. We're going to come for your half boomerang now. So, arms up in front of you. We're going to start to lean back slightly like we did earlier. And then from here, we're going to start to lean forward. We're going to bring the hands behind us, link the fingers, body forward, arms back. And then we sit tall again. So breathing in, lean back. Breathe out, arms back, body forward. Breathe in to hold. Breathe out and up. And again, breathe in. Breathe out, body forward, stretch the arms back, open through the front of the shoulder, breathe in to hold. Breathe out, up tall. Breathe in. Breathe out as we come forward. Breathe in to hold. Breathe out, up tall. Last one. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in. And breathing out, sitting tall. Okay, from here, lie yourself down onto the floor. We're going to go for your spine curl, curl up combination to really get the spine rolling properly. So hands behind the head. As always, elbows wide, but not too wide. You don't want them to drop to the floor. You want them up slightly so you can still see them. Feet hip width apart, so hips, knees, feet all in line with each other, so not too wide, and don't have them too far away from your bum. Yeah? Okay, we're going to start with your curl up, so starting with the head. We breathe in, breathe out, start to tuck your chin in towards your chest and then rolling up, thinking ribcage sliding down towards your hips. Now from here we hold that and we start to pull our pelvis upwards towards us, so think of lifting the bum off the floor and we keep going, and then the upper half will roll down as the hips continue to lift. And then we stay here, breathe in. Breathe out, keep those hips up as you now lift the chin again. So chin up, rolling through the chest. As you keep lifting the chest, allow the bum to roll down. And go again, breathe in. Breathe out, bum up. Chest down. Then chest up. Bum down. And just keep rolling up and down. Just getting the spine moving. Really concentrate on the lower spine, that's where most people get stiff. So as you're coming down, just really make sure that you're rolling that lower part of the back and not letting it come down as one solid piece. So tip the pelvis up towards you as you come up. And then as you're coming down, make sure you're coming down bit by bit. Keep tucking the pelvis until the very end and then let it go. Last one. And then whichever side is up, you're going to slowly just bring it down to the floor. Arms are going to come down by the side. We're now going to go for your spine curl and we're going to add in some ankle work. So breathing in, breathing out. You're going to think of coming up through the pelvis again as you just did, but this time we're just bringing the lower part of the spine up. Chest is staying heavy onto the floor. And we're just squeezing through the glutes to keep this position. Okay, we're now going to work through the ankles. So from here we're going to come up onto the toes and then onto the heels. So toes, heels. And as I mentioned, when you're doing this, keep squeezing through the bum. We want those hips to stay open as we do this. You should feel it working through your shins and your calves. So up and down. And really make sure you're moving them as much as you can. So pull your toes right up towards your shins and then come up onto your toes as much as you can. And then we're going to go into one toe, one heel, and then switch. One toe, one heel. Switch. And switch. As you're doing these, just keep breathing. There's no set pattern here. Just make sure breathing comfortably. Keep squeezing those glutes. Last one. And then feet flat. Start to roll through the chest, bringing the body down to the floor. And just relax there for a second. Okay. We're now going to come into a hamstring stretch. So this is your climb tree prep. We're going to float one knee in towards you, so into your knee fold position. Okay, from here you're going to hold onto the back of the leg. And you're going to start to straighten the leg up towards the ceiling. Now I just want you to find the point where you can get your knee straight. So if you can't get your leg straight and you're in this kind of position, all you're going to want to do is take the leg away from you until you can stretch it out. Now once you've found that position, I want you to slide the other leg along the floor. And then we're going to go from here, we're just going to bend the leg down and stretch it back up again. So down and up. So we're just moving through that stretched position. This is often a good way to just increase your flexibility. So moving stretches, nice and gentle. Make sure you're controlling it, so don't do it too quickly. You don't want to pull anything. And then we're going to take that leg up to the ceiling, so straighten it out. We're going to take the arms away, pop them down to the side, And we're going to flex through the heel and we're going to lower that leg to the floor. And then point the foot and we lift it back up again. And again, flex. Take it down. Point. Lift it up. Remember, keep that knee straight. We want the leg to be straight, so we're stretching through the hamstring. Down and up. Last two. Flex and down. Point and up. Last one. And then bend that knee. Bring the leg down. Okay, same thing other side. So we're going to bring the leg up. We're going to hold on to it, get to that point where your leg is straight, wherever that may be for you. We slide the other leg along the floor, and then from here we bend and stretch. Bend and stretch. If you find that as you're doing the exercise you start to feel the leg starting to loosen, you can obviously start to bring the leg in slightly more to get more of a stretch. But always just make sure that you can fully straighten the leg. And then we take the leg up, keep it straight, arms away, flex and down, point and up, flex and point. So push through the heel and then point the toe and lift. Two more. And then just bringing that leg down to the floor. From here we're going to come into our normal relaxation position. Hands behind the head. We're going to go for your oblique curl now with the leg slide. So we're going to breathe in. As you breathe out, we're going to come up and across the body, thinking of chest coming over to one hip bone, and then we're going to slide the opposite leg away. And then we breathe out, bring everything back to the center. So breathing in. Breathe out up and across. Now as you breathe in, opposite leg, stretch it away from you. And then leg in, curl yourself down. Breathe in. Breathe out up and across. Breathing in. Breathing out and down. With this, just make sure you're not turning your head too far. So head should stay in the center of your chest. So for example, if I do this, this is way too far and it's not actually going to be using your abdominals. I'm just using my neck here, but this isn't going to make much of a difference. So head stays in the center of the chest. You want to think about rotating from the rib cage and upper spinal area. So it's more about center of your chest down to the hip. Elbows stay wide. Okay? So make the next one your last one. So up and across, leg stretches away. And then back to the center. Coming down. From here, we float the arms up. We're going to bring the knees up into our near fold. Feet together, knees apart. We're going to go for your Peter Pan here. So it's opposite arm and leg out to the side. So we breathe in, take them away. Breathe out and back. Breathe in away. Breathe out and back. So you should feel this working through the inner thighs. Obviously, if you're tight around the groin area, you want to be careful with this one, so always keep it slow. If you struggle with coordination, you can separate the two, so you can do the leg, and then take the arm out, and then try to bring them back together. And then once you get used to it, you can then try to do both at the same time. One more to each side. And then from here, just bring the knees together and just hug them in towards you. Okay, slowly bringing the legs down. We're going to roll over onto our stomachs just to do a bit of extension work. So coming round, we're going to start nice and simple with your diamond press. So just make sure ribs are down under you. You want your legs slightly wider than hip width, not too wide, just so they're relaxed on the floor. Arms out to the side, so elbows wide, fingertips under your forehead. And we're just going to make sure the shoulders are relaxed on the back, so we don't want any tensing. We're going to tuck the head. We're going to breathe in here. And then as you breathe out, just start to send the nose forward slightly. And then think of lifting the back of the skull up towards the ceiling. And then running through the neck into the upper back, we're just lifting up, no pressure in the arms. And then we breathe in, hold it there. And breathe out, slowly start to come down, tucking the chin in at the end. And again, breathing in. Breathe out, think of opening through the throat slightly and then lifting upwards. So upwards, think of sending your chest forward through your arms. Breathe in. And breathing out, coming down. One more like this, breathe in. Breathe out, lifting upwards. Think of scooping through the upper spine, chest forwards, breathing in, and breathing out, coming down. Okay, let's turn that into your cobra. So arms out now wide, thumbs roughly in line with your nose, and you're going to just drop your toes out and heels drop in. So you start in exactly the same way, nose slides forward slightly, and then start to lift upwards through the upper back. And then when you can't lift any higher, you're now going to push the arms straight. So push them straight. We're going to breathe in at the top. And breathe out. Pull the floor towards you to bring the elbows down. And then bring the rest of the body down. Tuck your chin in. And again, breathe in. Breathe out, coming up. Push arms straight. Breathing in, breathing out to come down. One more, breathing in, breathing out, scooping up. Think of pulling your abdominals in slightly just to support your lower back. Don't dip too much into the lower spine. Shoulders down, away from the ears. And then bringing yourself down. From here, we're now going to come up onto the forearms, so elbows under shoulders, hands either together or flat on the floor. We're going to come into your single leg kick. So from here, start by pushing the shoulders open. We're then going to come into a slight pelvic tuck, so that we've got a nice straight spine, so we don't want this excessive tipping in the lower back. So come up out of it. And then from here, we're going to work through the knees. We're going to pull the heel in towards the bum. And then the toe comes in towards the bum, and then leg down. Other side, heel in, toe in, and down. So as your heel comes in, you should feel the stretch through the front of the thigh, and as you point, you should be able to come slightly further towards you, and then down. So pulse, pulse, and down. So this should be very slow and controlled. We're not bouncing, especially if you have any problems with the knee, so it's not a quick bounce. We don't really want to be doing that. So nice and controlled, pull it in, and down. Last one. And then from here, just push yourself back into your rest position. Again, take care with this one if you've got anything wrong with your knees. You might want to pop a cushion in between your thighs and your lower leg just to keep you slightly higher. Otherwise, sit your bum right back to your heels, stretching your arms out away from you, and think of opening up through the armpit area, so pushing down towards the floor. Nice breath in here. Breathe out, sink towards the floor. Last one, breathe in. Breathing out. And then you're slowly just going to reset your spine. And you're all finished.